Welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation, where, you know what, you pay to watch this show because you come and you know we are always prepared for the show. We're not last-second kind of guys. We're live and in action, and we have Dave with Utility Pro. Dave, how you doing, buddy?
Good, guys. How are you?
You know what, Dave? I'm excited for today. Let me tell you, not only do I have you on the show, a fellow safety junkie guru, I now have Drive Safe Dave putting on the bright to try to see what it's like to be like Sir Rick. Drive Safe Dave, do you feel a little bit of power right now?
I feel a little safer. I know that people can see me. I was going to thinking about doing the Mr. Rogers thing and come in singing and putting on my jacket this morning, but here we are. We're looking good. Feels good. Feels nice. Everything about it makes me. I tried to represent a little bit today for the flagmen out there and the construction workers out there today to let you know to slow down and be cautious for them. And they need to be wearing some Utility Pro wear out there on the road so everybody can see them all 100% day.
All right, Dave. This is an interview with Dave. Hey, Dave, talk to us a little bit. Hey, tell us first a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with Utility Pro and who your customer is.
Well, I've been with Market Share Brands, is the parent company that makes the Utility Pro Wear brand. I've been with them for 11 years. We're based out of New York City with an office, and we have distribution out of New Jersey and California, so we're on both coasts. And our market is twofold. We have manufacturing reps around the country who sell into safety distributors, contractor supply, truck equipment distributors, we'll call it promotional goods. Anywhere that landscape supply, anywhere where there's a population that has a need to wear the clothing as part of their job, we're in those marketplaces.
Man, that's it's good to see you throughout the California all the way to New Jersey and the distribution centers, because getting that product out to those that need it, especially the lawn, that Dave's got the flagmen out there that have to wear this. Let me tell you, I look at this safety industry and the vest and everything you do, all the clothing, and that market, once you become part of this and you start realizing it, it's huge. I mean, when you go out today, and I challenge each of you, when you go out there, look at how many people are wearing, this safety vest, the safety clothing throughout the industry.
Yeah, it's true. It's become ubiquitous, and 15 years ago it was not that big a deal. And then at some point, the Federal Highway Administration started by creating a regulation that said if you were working on a federally funded road, you had to wear ANSI certified high visibility. So that opened up a whole area between, like Dave's talking about, the flaggers, so that work zone safety, people on the side of the road, highway construction, road construction, towing, all those folks now had to be compliant. And on top of that, OSHA got a lot more vigilant about job sites and construction and things like that, where they have the authority to basically go in there and shut it down if people aren't being compliant.
Hey, Dave, talk to me a little bit. We had, and I'm trying to think of her name, from Iowa on the clothing. There you go. Your safety clothing, not only is it made for men, but it's also designed for the women in the industry as well. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. About a dozen years ago, women from Harley-Davidson came to us at a trade show and described a situation where they're working on a production line on bikes, and they're wearing men's high visibility, and it doesn't fit them right, and it's getting caught up in the bikes as they go by with the equipment they're using, the robotics, etc. And they basically were less safe wearing male high visibility than if they were wearing all black and nobody could see them. So that got our heads thinking about it, knowing that women in the workforce, even back then, it was starting to happen where women were working in traditionally male-dominated fields, and that's been growing ever since. So that was kind of our motivation to get started on ladies' high visibility.
Hey, Dave, as we talk about high visibility, how effective is it truly out there in the workplace and doing? Because, we all see people working, we all see them now, but what are the numbers? Has there been a drastic change in numbers of people being injured and being killed because of this stuff?
Well, there's a lot of factors in it, but I think you have two different situations. On the roadside situation, not only do you have people wearing the clothing, but in all likelihood, you have cones out there, and the vehicles have all kinds of lights on it. You guys know that in the truck business, how truckers like to have a lot of lights and reflectors on their rigs. That's especially true in ambulances and tow trucks and things like that. So it has definitely reduced, fatalities, related to being seen, so to speak. Like Rick said, you go out the door these days and you could be in your own town and they're patching holes on some street and they're wearing high vis. You go down the street and the police officer's directing traffic. He's wearing a vest. It's everywhere now, and people are not as surprised to see them have it.
Yeah, and Dave, I'm going to tell you, this is just part of my. I almost shot a picture of my closet. As a matter of fact, I'll do that tomorrow. I want to show the amount of high vis, the stuff that I have out there, because it's about awareness. And I think what you all do out there on the awareness side is huge. Other than just the jackets that Drive Safe Dave has on, the shirts, is there other items y'all make besides just the clothing like this? Coats, hats?
We have hats as well, kind of like the big Ranger bucket style hats for heat. Those particular hats also have insect repellent built right into it, so that it repels mosquitoes and ticks and things like that. So we always come at these things at a slightly different angle, in that we try to add value to the product.
Hey, Dave, I want to jump in and ask one more question, because one thing I noticed immediately is that the clothing that you have, it fits a little bit different than, say, when you just go online and order out of Amazon or something like that. Sometimes those come in and that 2X is like sitting right up here, and it's not the most comfortable thing. Your clothing fits, it feels good. What's the difference in how you're getting yours versus when somebody just goes online and picks a product?
Well, first of all, with us, we're a true clothing company in that we design everything in-house for sizing and, for looks. We do it ourselves, and all of our production is supervised by our own personnel offshore. We don't farm it out to a trading company or anything like that. So we kind of have control of the product from its inception as an idea till its delivery to our DC, either on the West or East Coast. That has a lot to do with it. We control the situation all the way through.
David, and as I wear it and as you hold it, you can tell that the material is a lot higher quality, a lot better quality. It's not like the cheap stuff that you can pick up off of at the Walmart. This stuff actually, it's stitched well, it's done well. Everything about it is about a lot higher quality clothing.
Well, we took the approach that folks today are used to wearing, we'll call it performance wear, whether it's from, Columbia or North Face or Under Armour. We all have it, we all wear it, and it can be wonderfully comfortable. And we basically said, we've got to take that mindset and bring it into safety clothing and high visibility, because then there's no transition, there's no worry about the wearer. They put it on and it feels like something they're wearing when they're not working. And yet it stands up to the usage and to the needs of the worker, regardless. So that has a lot to do with it. It's true, and it's not just some, shall we say, basic, garment. We put a lot of thought into it, and we designed it accordingly.
We sit here and talk about those brand names that you identify and you see on the lapel, and the North Face and the Polo and what have you, and the high quality clothing that people are used to getting. Your brand is written all over the shirt. I mean, it's everywhere. So you don't need a little bitty emblem. Your emblem is the color. It is the ANSI certification. It is this. What a great marketing technique to do to make these a lot better. Man, I enjoy this a lot. I have to ask you, how much faster is this going for y'all across with the changes that are made in the ideas of safety?
Didn't come through. I didn't hear you guys.
How much more demand are you getting on these reflective clothing now as safety is more on the mindset of everybody out there in the worker?
Well, you know, it's in so many markets now, and so many places to buy it. You know, in terms of occupations that need it, and so it is an extremely large total market. You know, just think about even like, you know, the big refuse collection companies. You know, like Payne's and you know,
Waste
the other one
management.
I'm forgetting the name of.
Waste
All their
management.
drivers were it. Thousands upon thousands of people who companies who have contracts picking up folks' garbage. They're all wearing it. School bus drivers, crossing guards. You know, you can go down the line. It's touching so many parts of, you know, our working world now that you know, it affords a lot of opportunity to provide good clothing and keeping people safe.
Yeah, when you think about that clothing that you sell, it also has something special in it, Drive Safe Dave, that I know you'll appreciate, and that's that Teflon. Talk to us about the Teflon and how that's incorporated into your gear as well.
Okay, so one of the things I always say, and I think I said it to Rick when we had a conversation, you know, is that the high-vis business is a Me Too business. A lot of people are in it, and a lot of people make very similar styles. Some even use fabrics we use, you know, or similar fabrics. So basically, if you put 10 different manufacturers' stuff up on a wall, anyone would be hard-pressed to designate any one of them as this is company X, company Y, utility pro. So to differentiate ourselves and to provide an added value to the customer, we do the Teflon fabric protector. And what that does is creates a barrier in the clothing against dirt, liquids, some oils, etc. It's infused into the garment right down to the yarn level. And that means that it's not a spray-on. It never goes away. In fact, when it's washed and dried, the drying process reinvigorates the chemical bonding. It's a green chemical product, so there's no issues there. And it basically, what we say is it keeps you brighter longer, keeps you safer longer. And you're getting it without some kind of a major premium on your price.
Hey Dave, can you give us some ideas of what kind of more inventive ways that y'all are looking to add to the market? Some of these beautiful clothing wear and safe wear?
Well, we're also doing another thing in some of the men's gear, and it'll be also coming out in the women's gear. First of all, on the women's side, we have a half a dozen products with 3 more in the pipeline, and we have other ideas beyond that. We really want to grow the variety and treat the women basically the same way the men are being treated. You know, there's all this talk about, you know, equity and inclusiveness, and they have every right to say that in regards to their clothing choices. And some of my competitors offer 1 or 2 items. We're offering 6 now with 3 more coming. And even on the male side, what we've done is on one of our linings, we're using a printed foil lining so that the jacket itself is not bulky like, you know, your old-fashioned ski jacket, but the printed foil lining reflects the body heat back to the wearer, so you can stay warm without all the bulk. And when people are working all day, the last thing they want to do is feel like they're whooshing around like the Michelin Man in a big, heavy jacket. So, you know,
like
we found a way here to create a piece that gives them all the warmth of the old school jacket, but with a lot less bulk.
Yeah, Dave, I'll tell you, when it comes to an industry, this trucking industry, the truck drivers, they are all about safety. We continue to work and work more. That's what we do on BCB Live, is to get the word out on safety. There's no doubt that your product here helps us, as one thing we want to do to make sure that you, the drivers out there, understand is that we've got to wear this stuff at the truck stops, when you're getting out of your truck, when you're out in the yard, daylight or nighttime. And one of the things that Utility Pro does give us, and Dave, I want you to talk just a minute on it. is just the variety. I mean, you have summer wear, you have winter wear, you have hats, you have all of these items that are geared towards the safety of a driver throughout the entire year.
No question. I break it down to you have hot weather gear, you have cold weather gear, and then what I call transitional gear. So like at this time of year right now where I live, it's transitional weather, which means it could be 35 in the morning and 55, by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So you're not going to wear a t-shirt and you're not going to wear a heavy winter jacket either. You need something in between, and we have pieces like that with some of our soft shells, which can keep you warm, but they're breathable. So as the day warms up, you don't feel like you're cooking inside your jacket. And that's very true, and especially for your truckers, because they're getting in and out of the cab and whatnot. They may not, in some circumstances, want a heavy piece. They may want something lighter because they're going to be out there a shorter period of time. Like Dave, what you're wearing there, I think is a perfect item for a lot of truckers who are in warmer weather. That's basically a t-shirt weight, little hoodie. Very stylish there, Dave. Very good.
Hey, you know what? And as I was putting it on, I'll tell you, in real world scenarios, we get wrapped up in the moments, and let's just say I blow a tire on the side of the road, and I got to pull over, and I got to set out traffic cones, or I got to do triangles or what have you. I'll tell you, how many times have you been going down the road and you've been surprised by somebody standing next to a truck or what have you because you didn't see them till the last minute. Mm-hmm. I think making sure that you not only when you step out with the right idea and the right mindset, that no matter when I get out of the truck, I present myself to be seen. And I think this right here is a great idea and a great part of playing into that, because we never know when the emergency might be, right? We never know when we're going to need it. But if we have that mindset of every time we get out of the truck, we are seen, I think you also add to the safety of it, man. This is a great feeling light jacket. I was worried that when I got in here, I would be too warm in the studio, and I'm telling you, I'm not. It's actually a very comfortable light suit jacket.
I think in your part of the world, where you guys are, that happens to be a perfect piece for folks. But I think your point is well taken. That the second someone steps out of the truck, it could be a side of the road thing. It could be a terminal with other vehicles, moving around and forklifts and what have you. There are a myriad of opportunities for something bad to happen, and to stand out and be seen like that, even in daylight, because the color will stand out, and at nighttime the reflective stripes come into play and brighten up when the light hits it. So to me, it's just an insurance policy that it's a no-brainer to have and do.
Hey, Dave, from us boys here in Texas, I want to make sure you know, number one, that 50 degrees isn't transitional. That's still cold, okay? I want to make sure you know that. That's not that's cold weather, brother. That is cold weather. That's coat weather. Yeah. Just so you know that side. Hey, Dave, how do, if somebody were to want to order this today or anytime, hey, tell us the best way for them to go online and get some of your product ordered.
Well, it's real simple. It's utilityproware.com. And if your listeners and viewers use the code BCB20, they're going to get an exclusive discount at checkout. And all right, so they're going to get it at 20% below sticker price.
Wow!
Right out of the gate, and we ship quickly. Within 24 to 48, it's on the way. Folks get notice of the order confirmation, all that good stuff that we're all used to when we buy online. And they can avail themselves of any of the product that's in our line, suiting their needs and their geography.
Oh, I like this. Hey, Dave, we're running real short on time. We have to let you go here as we get ready for the next thing. Dave, I want to first of all, hey, thank you for being a sponsor for BCB Live. I want to encourage each and every one of you, hey, the gear is solid. It's unbelievable. Make yourself safer. Make your company a little bit safer. Be seen. It is so critical on this. Log in. Go to the website, Utility Pro. Put in that promo code. Receive 20% off, which means you can just order more and more. The more you order, the more you save. It's like making money.
It's like free, but different.
That's great. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate the time, and It's great working with you all, and we look forward to our association and to providing quality product to folks in the rigs.
Hey, Dave, before you leave here, we ask all our guests the same thing because we want to hear it from you. I'd like you to state your name, who you're with, and then I want you to say you're watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Can you do that for me, Dave?
I sure can. I'm Dave Rosenbluth of Market Share Brands, Utility Pro Wear, High Visibility, and you're watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
All right.
Appreciate that, Dave. Be good, buddy. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Take care,
Appreciate you,
fellas.
Dave.